What's going on, folks? Welcome to the Franchise Podcast. My name is Brandon, the Franchise Buck, the greatest of all time, the best in the world, but more importantly, the owner of the world. And let me tell you, we have a lot of things to talk about today, so let's just get right on to it. March 25 at Soccer Nation in downtown Kansas City. GWF, Global Wrestling Federation, makes its highly awaited return to the Squared Circle. We haven't had a show since last October. Not this last October, but the October beforehand. After my wedding, I should say. And now we are coming back, and guess who is going to be wrestling that night? Now, you're going to have to bear with me because of the fact I'm dealing with allergies right now, and my voice is making me sound like a fucking 14-year-old dude going through puberty. So I apologize for the high squeaks here and there. Here is the thing. We are ready. We are coming up with brand new material. It's going to be an edgier material that, for you wrestling fans out there who know about the Attitude Era, that's what it's going to be all about. We're going to bring all of that entertainment to you, front row center, if you make it on by to March 25, which is a Saturday. It's the last Saturday before the 31st, which ends on a Friday in March. And we will be over at Soccer Nation, which is an enclosed soccer field. And it's going to be a great, great time. I tell you, I've seen the card, I've seen the matchups and all of this other jazz and whatnot. We have a lot of old guys from the Metro Pro deals, from the Kansas City area, Nebraska, Iowa area. We have some old timers coming on back out of retirement. And it's just going to be fun. You have got to be there. I already know two of my high school friends from way back in the day are going to be there. And I'm going to be there. My wife's going to be there. My kids are going to be there. You should be there too. So what has happened since June? My God. I don't even know what the hell I was talking about for the last podcast show. Let me tell you. A lot of bullshit has happened. So let me paint the picture here for you. So everybody knows from previous podcasts and whatnot that I got trained by Trevor Murdoch and Derek McQuinn up in Kansas City over at KC Pro. Unfortunately, because of situations, the school closed on down. Now here comes this dude. His name is Major. I can't pronounce his last name, but it starts with a B. Basond. Dude comes on by out of nowhere, and he is basically the best way I can explain it for the normal wrestling fans is we basically have a WWE in Kansas City. He has rigs, he has rings, he has a performance center coming on by here in the next couple of months and whatnot. The list goes on and on and on. And a lot of the guys, he basically bought out Metro Pro Wrestling. So now he's in charge of his own federation, not wearing the Metro Pro colors, but wearing his own colors. And what he's doing is a split brand promotion. You have St. Louis and you have Kansas City. So if you think Monday Night Raw or Tuesday Night SmackDown, that's basically the end-all be-all. And he's got a full roster of guys who have performed with Metro Pro Wrestling. And, if they live in Missouri, they live in Missouri. They live in Kansas, they live in Kansas. It doesn't matter. It was their choice to decide which side they were going to be a part of, which side they were representing. And he bought out the school. So now we have a guy by the name of Derek Stone, who is a vet in the wrestling business for the indie wrestling business, and he is the head trainer over at NWL Training Center. I don't know the official name. I don't think they have an official name, but they are. Or he is the head trainer. It's the same locations where my wrestling school was, and still is, and he is just training guys and girls who want to be part of the professional wrestling business. I think that's a great, great, great thing. Because, I mean, if there's anybody who's going to do it, it's going to be somebody who knows the business left and right, and that's Derek Stone right there. So, with that being said, I already know people already have questions already. What does that mean for the franchise? Well, I don't know. I don't. I live a very subtle life down here in southeast Kansas. I work. I take care of my family. Do I have the time or the mileage to drive on up to Kansas City, just get my ass whipped for maybe 2-3 hours and whatnot, and then drive all the way back? I can't tell you. But I can tell you that the wrestling world is going to be in a safe spot. Now, with that being said, what does that mean for me and GWF? Well, in case I haven't mentioned this, I am the chief brand officer for GWF, which basically means I'm in charge of marketing. I'm in charge of throwing the GWF name out there, and possibly businesses or be anxious to sponsor us for wrestling shows and what have you. I hope it happens. If it doesn't happen, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm also in charge of creative. I'm in charge of writing down storylines and throwing out ideas and, trying to make the show as best as it can be. And now officially I'm a worker. I'm a professional wrestler. And so it's going to be a humongous deal. To be able to be in that squared circle in front of my wife, in front of my kids, in front of my friends, some of the boys that I've got acquainted to and whatnot, and just have a great time. That's all I care about, I was able to do that 2 Octobers ago in Pittsburgh, and now I'm able to do it now. And so everything's just phenomenal. I couldn't be more humble or appreciative of the opportunity for me to go ahead and be a part of this show, let alone actually wrestle at this show in front of my friends from back in high school who have known me for years beyond years, and all I've talked about is being a professional wrestler, and now they get to see it. I got to do that in front of my in-laws, I got to do that in front of my children, I got to do that in front of my wife, I got to do that in front of my friends, and now I get to do it in front of the high school kids, and that's going to be awesome. There's a lot of other stuff going on by. Survivor Series 2016, Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. Everybody was fearing this match just because of the fact of what happened at WrestleMania 20 when both gentlemen were on their way out of the WWE. Nope, they didn't care. They didn't care about putting on a good match because they're both leaving anyways. Brock was on his way to the NFL with the Minnesota Vikings, and Goldberg was on his way out just because he was tired of wrestling. And 12 years later, Goldberg comes on back because of the WWE video game. And Brock Lesnar challenges him. He accepts the challenge, and in a minute 25, Goldberg squashes Brock Lesnar. You heard that right. Goldberg squashes Brock Lesnar. Why does that make sense? Because putting on a story towards Goldberg to be this big guy who was just ferocious back in the day, and then you have Brock Lesnar, who, yeah, he beat Undertaker and broke the streak, but the fact of the matter is, it's not going to hurt Brock to lose to Goldberg. And don't be all. You have your opinions. That's perfectly fine. But, it's not going to hurt Brock to lose to Goldberg because you can go on with an end-on story. So, after the match, that next day on Monday Night Raw, Goldberg announced that he was going to be part of the Royal Rumble. Brock Lesnar is going to be part of the Royal Rumble. This is a great scenario. Have Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of the Monday Night Raw roster, or even SmackDown roster, all because of the fact that Goldberg beat him in a minute 25. Everybody on the roster is against Goldberg now because they're getting their asses whipped, and it's all because of Goldberg, because he beat Brock Lesnar in a minute 25. Whenever their entrances are at the Royal Rumble, let them battle on out. And whether it ends with a tie, where they both get eliminated at the same time, whether it be one person over the other, beats the other guy, whatever the case may be, it sets up a perfect picture for WrestleMania 33 this April. So, this is going to be a short podcast. I just wanted to announce March 25 in Kansas City, Kansas, Soccer Nation, Brand Franchise Buck, and Global Wrestling Federation are going to be there. It is booked. It is ready to roll. We're just waiting for the fans. So, that being said, I'm going to enjoy myself a drink. And my name is Brian the Franchise Buck, the greatest of all time, the best in the world, but more importantly, the only world. And until next time, I'll catch your asses later.